Yes, manual labor gets cheaper. But what about the ones who get them?
So measures must not be taken to reduce the migration of rural population to large cities.
First of all, I am requesting from proposition side, Team Proton, first speaker Fatima bint Afzal.
Respected moderator, honorable judges, and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is measures must be taken to reduce the migration of rural population to urban areas. I am Fatima bint Afzal and I will be talking in favor of the topic. First, I would like to explain what rural migration is. Rural-urban migration, or RUM, is the movement of people from rural to urban areas in search of better jobs and other incentives. There are two main reasons for rural migration, which are known as push factors and pull factors. Push factors like landlessness and homelessness are the factors that force the rural people to move to urban areas. Pull factors like willingness to live in a better way and search for better jobs are the factors that attract rural people to urban areas. According to the present situation, we can say that rural migration has a negative effect on both rural and urban people. Urban areas are becoming overpopulated and the streets are becoming overcrowded. The number of crimes is increasing day by day. The empty spaces are being taken over to make slums, which is increasing the pollution in a very high rate. And not only this, the ones who migrate, even they do not get all the urban facilities as they're not economically solvent. They mostly live in ignorance and do not get much importance from urban people. Due to rural migration, the population of rural areas is decreasing, which means the number of people for agriculture is decreasing. As our country depends mainly on agriculture, it is having a negative effect in the overall economic development of our country, as it reduces the production of both commercial crops and food crops. When rural people migrate to urban areas, they see the exclusive ways in which the urban people live. They see the expensive and attractive things the city people use. As human beings, it obviously creates a material desire in their mind. As a result, some of them resort to antisocial or criminal activities. Moreover, the jobs they get do not pay them enough. So for trying to have a better living, they use illegal methods like stealing, mugging, and robbery. So considering all these, I strongly believe that measures must be taken to reduce the migration of rural population to urban areas. Thank you.
I'm inviting first speaker from opposition side, Electron, Afla Maliha, to come on the stage and give her speech.
Respected moderator, honorable judges, and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. I am Afla Maliha. Today's topic is measure must be taken to reduce the migration of rural population into larger cities. And I will be talking against this topic. Rural migration is the movement of people from the countryside to the city. It mainly occurs because the cities have better economic opportunities. Administrative headquarters and civil employments, financial and banking services. International commerce and business are all largely concentrated in cities. In rural areas, where there is a lack of employment, social culture, and recreational opportunities. Social culture and recreational opportunities are also easily assembled in rural areas. Other benefits including better education, school colleges, Medicare, hospitals, opportunities, higher standard of life. Some push factors that would cause one to move from rural area to an urban area, including drought, famine, conflicts, and disputes. Declination in subsistence farming is a result of development of commercial agriculture, poverty, lack of proper service. The people from rural areas move to cities to enjoy new recreational resources and cultural facilities. Good healthcare and hospitals are easily reached of city dwellers. Education facilities in urban area offer a range of choice and easy access to college and universities, providing better education. Government money is made available highly populous areas such as urban areas. Considering all those factors, I strongly oppose today's topic and believe that no measure should be taken to limit the rural migration. Rather, steps should be taken to help them settle in cities and play an active role in country's overall development. Thank you.
Now, I am inviting from proposition side, group Proton, second speaker, Sayyida Samihat Fabiha, to come on the stage and deliver her speech.
Respected moderator, honorable judges and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is measures must be taken to reduce migration of rural population into larger cities. My name is Sayyida Samihat Fabiha and I am talking in favor of this topic. In developing countries, migration of rural population has turned into one of the major problems since it is affecting the entire environment of the urban areas. A remarkable example for this would be Dhaka. Dhaka has more than 12 million people living in it and the number is increasing day by day due to rural migration. Most part of Dhaka is badly affected by this. More than 700,000 rickshaws ply on the city road and most of them are retained by rural people. This huge number of rickshaws is creating immense traffic jam. Rural migrants are mostly less educated or illiterate. They have no clear idea about the city traffic rules and regulations. Hence, they get involved in serious traffic violations which lead to road accidents and loss of lives. Moreover, rural people gravely lack the civic sense that traffic jam delays and hampers the timely arrival of office goers as well as students. Now let's think about the electricity, water and gas supplies of the city areas. When rural people migrate to city areas, the number of consumers will obviously rise. When rural people migrate to city areas, the number of consumers will obviously rise. When there are too many consumers, this will create a pressure on the resources, and the proper distribution of these facilities will obviously be disrupted. When rural migrants do not get the supplies in a proper way, they go for illegal connections of gas lines and electricity. And in several cases, these illegal connections lead to fatal accidents. Also, as they do not pay taxes, the government is deprived of the revenue. On top of that, the urban poor also lack the supply to clean water, which often leads to serious health hazards. This is why I stand firmly against the topic that measures. This is why I stand firmly for the topic that measures must be taken to reduce migration of rural population into larger cities. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayyida Samiha. I am requesting from opposition side, Group Electron, second speaker, Dalsim Jannat, to come on the stage and give her statement, give her speech.
Respected moderator, honorable judges and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is measures must be taken to reduce rural migration into larger cities. I am Tansim Janat and I stand against the topic. Hundreds of years ago, 20% of the world's population lived in urban areas, but from 20th century, a dramatic change marked a turning point in history. Now, rural migration is growing rapidly around the world. So more people live in cities rather than in rural areas. City life is much more efficient as it provides good lifestyle, higher education and good hospital facilities. In rural areas, there is lack of health care, educational opportunities and other facilities of life. So people must migrate from rural areas to cities. In general, urban wages are significantly higher than rural areas. So moving to the cities is an opportunity to earn that was impossible in rural areas. In urban areas, there are many industries, factories, offices where people can do jobs and earn a lot. If people migrate from rural areas to urban areas, then there will be no shortage of labor and laborers will be available at cheap rate. City life offers high quality education for the residents. There are many universities, colleges from where students can choose. And in addition, a student upon graduation finds it easier to get jobs which are well paid and which are not available in rural areas. I would like to conclude by saying that city life has been of greater benefits in terms of development, education and technology. Therefore, to keep in pace with the developed world, people from rural areas must migrate to larger cities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm requesting Maria Ifat Noha to come on the stage and deliver her speech.
Respected moderator, honorable judges, and dear audience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Maria Ifad Nuha, and today my topic is measures must be taken to reduce rural migration to large cities. I will be talking in favor of this topic. We all are aware of the fact that we get all kinds of agricultural food cultivated by the farmers from the villages. The farmers work hard day and night to produce these crops, but in return they earn very less. They think that they can get better jobs with better payments if they migrate to the cities. The wages in the cities may be higher than the wages in the villages, but the cost of living is also higher in cities than in the villages. Moreover, if able people migrate to the cities, then there will be less farmers left for cultivating crops for us. The cost of crops in the cities will also increase as less crops will be cultivated. The most recent report in bdnews.24 shows that 60.43% of the slum dwellers in Dhaka city has increased within 17 years. Almost all the illiterate people who migrate to the cities migrate to the large cities, block the open areas in the cities by building their slums. They live in very unhygienic ways, making the environment polluted. They don't get sanitary facilities, which is why their toilets are unhygienic. The total slum population in Bangladesh is 5.4 million, whereas the number of slums in Bangladesh is only 1 million. This is hazardous because too many people living in a small area can bring threatening diseases to the cities. They spread over the city people and causes harm. So I strongly believe that measures must be taken to reduce rural migration to large cities. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, Maria Ifat Nuha. Now I am inviting third speaker from opposition side, Group Electron, Khadija Haq.
Respected moderator, honorable judges, and dear audience. Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is measures must be taken to reduce rural migration into larger cities. I'm Khadija Haq and I'm standing here to present my speech against the topic. Rural migration occurs when people from rural areas move to live in larger cities looking for a better living. Although it is widely considered that rural migration has a negative impact on urban areas, there are positive results of this process. Now, I will emphasize some of these positive sides of rural migration. People who come from rural areas are generally illiterate and less educated, so they tend to take manual jobs to earn a living. This is why the number of workers increases and manual labor becomes cheaper. Workplaces that need more manual laborers can get sufficient manpower easily. Rural migrants can send their income back to their houses to help their remaining family members. This leads to betterment of standard of living common people. In cities, general health services are available. This is why we see less baby deaths in cities than the rural areas. Also, the rate of life expectancy of rural people increases when they move into the cities, as the sick and elderly can get their basic medical treatment easily here. Rural migration plays a positive effect on encouragement of women's participation in all overall development process of the country. Problems like gender biasness, superstitions, and child marriages are mostly practiced in rural areas. Moving into cities, rural people come in touch with more socially aware attitudes of urban people, and they gradually learn to come out of their biased and superstitious thoughts. And rural women are able to show their talents and potentials. Although the negative effects of rural migration are being more focused on the positive effects, and it can be enhanced by taking proper steps. So, I wholeheartedly support the stance that measures must not be taken to limit migration of rural people. Thank you.
Now, from the proposition side, fourth speaker, Marjan Ahmed Maisha. I'm inviting you on the stage to deliver your speech.
Respected moderator, honorable judges, and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is measures must be taken in order to reduce the migration of rural population to large cities. I'm Marjan Ahmed Maisha, and I'm talking in the favor of this topic. Rural-urban migration increases the rate of unemployment in our urban areas, since not all people who come to town to seek employment can manage a good job. They find themselves living in shanty towns and slum areas. They struggle to make a living, even though they earn more money than they used to do in rural areas, because the cost of city life is significantly higher and the opportunities to produce their own food and other basic necessities gets greatly reduced. When they find no job, they tend to do antisocial activities just to earn a living. Rural migration increases the prices of commodities, housing, and transport in urban areas. When people migrate from rural areas to urban ones, they get separated from the bonds of their family and culture. Now, Dhaka has emerged as a city of crime and insecurity. Among the many negative consequences of migration is the increase in the incidence of crime and violence. Social unrest, theft, robbery, hijacking, kidnapping, murder, drugs is prominent among the serious city problems. Criminal and antisocial activities are mainly located within slums. Quarrel, clash, conflict in the slums and squatter settlement is a regular phenomenon which disturbs the nearby city dwellers. Thus, a healthy social environment is being threatened. A country's overall development can be ensured by both rural and urban development. When people migrate from rural areas to urban ones, they see that most of the able people move away, and the rural sectors and the able people move away, which decreases the things in the rural areas. Therefore, I stand with my utmost support for the stance that migration of the rural people to large cities must be stopped. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marjan Ahmed Maisha. And I'm inviting opposition side's last speaker, Khadijatul Kubra, to come on the stage and deliver her speech.
Respected moderators, honorable judges, and dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is measures must be taken to reduce the migration of rural population to large cities. I'm Khadijatul Kubra. I'll be talking against it. Rural migration to larger cities means people from rural or semi-urban areas move to metro cities in search of better opportunities for growth and income. Rural dwellers move from rural to urban mostly because of economic and employment reasons. In Bangladesh, rural areas are poorer than urban areas. Most of the main income of rural areas come from agricultural work and farming. Due to poverty and natural disasters, the agricultural workers and farmers lose their job, and it becomes very difficult to earn a living as there is no scope for an alternative living. And if they, the breadwinners, do not have a job, how will they feed their family? How will their children go to school? This is the most important push factor. People are pushed away from the rural areas to urban areas because of lack of opportunities, lack of work. These men who did not have a job in rural areas, they can easily find a job when they migrate to urban areas. Urban areas tend to be a lot more bigger than rural areas, and as they're bigger, that means more factories, and which means more chances for these men to earn a living. Rural migration greatly helps in the economic development of the country because due to people migrating from countrysides to cities, local talents get chances whether it is in entertainment, business, sports, or any field. And by displaying the talent of these people, many industries as well as companies are getting bigger and better, which in turn is helping the country in achieving its economic target, also enabling the country to have a competitive edge in international global markets. Urban areas offer more cultural and social amenities which will display the inner talent of children from rural areas. People in rural areas are more superstitious and they follow old age traditions like black magic, child marriage, and gender biasment, etc. In rural areas, girls' education is discouraged by most of the people, which leads to many problems. But due to rural migration, when the same superstitious people come to urban areas, they realize that there's more to a girl than getting married at a very young age. They slowly understand that a girl's educational upbringing is equally as important as the opposite gender's educational upbringing. Slowly they began to come out of this aggressive attitude. With proper planning and management of the government, both the citizens of urban areas and migrants of the rural areas can live in tranquility and harmony. So measures must not be taken to reduce the migration of rural population to large cities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm inviting the team leader from the proposition side, Group Proton, to give their rebuttal and closing session. Please come on the stage.
I would like to clear my stand against the points my opposition just said. One of them said that the sick and elderly get better treatments in the cities. But do they really get sick? That much sick that they need to migrate? By the way, I never knew that migration helps a person to recover. I mean, don't you think that the pressures of migration just worsens their conditions? And if you say that the sick and elderly get better health services because they're in cities, don't you think that they got sick because they are in cities? As the environment in rural areas is fresh and healthy, neither would they have got sick nor would they have required health services. And if they get sick, the government has made the basic treatments available even in the remotest areas of our country. Cities provide advanced medical services which is too expensive for them to afford. And about girls' education. In rural areas, girls are getting free education from the government. And if my opponents say that girls in urban areas get a chance to leave their homes and work outside there, what's the guarantee that their parents will not lose control of them? They also said that manual labor gets cheaper due to rural migration. Yes, manual labor gets cheaper, but what about the ones who get them? They get too less wages and values of manpower decreases. As far as women participation is concerned, they can participate in the overall development process being in rural areas by enhancing the cottage industries, farming, and spreading of social awareness. Knowing that rural areas are always better than urban areas, I will repeatedly keep saying that measures must be taken to reduce rural migration to urban areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I am requesting and inviting team leader from opposition side, Team Electron, to come on the stage and give your rebuttal and closing statement. Please come on the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm standing here to establish my support by pointing out that some of my opposition's points are not entirely accurate. My opponent has said that rural people live in slums when they come to urban areas if they don't have money. That can be solved easily by the government. The government can have proper accommodation planned so that unhealthy slums can be avoided. One of my opposition has said that rural people come to cities and then due to poverty get involved in antisocial and criminal activities. It is not entirely true. Drug addiction, eve-teasing, illicit activities, these are social problems, and in many cases it is seen that young people from affluent families are mostly involved in such social problems. These are social problems which are mainly caused by parents' ignorance, improper upbringing, faulty education system, social pressure, and depression. Poverty plays a very minor role in such social problems. My opposition has said that girls' education is encouraged in rural areas by the government with free education and midday meals. But in reality, most rural people still uphold the wrong notion that girls need not to be highly educated. Statistics show that 85% of young girls are taken out of school at the age of 12 or 13 and then they're forcibly married, since it is widely known that in this country that getting married and having a family is the ultimate goal of a girl's life. But in urban areas, people are more enlightened and many city girls are working outside home and they're supporting their family financially. So by migrating to urban areas, rural women are having a change in their lifestyle and perspective. Therefore, I again and again emphasize that measures must not be taken to stop rural people to come to cities. Rather, steps should be taken to rehabilitate them here properly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm requesting our Honorable Judge, Mr. Shabab Nawaz, to say something.
I think the students have done a wonderful job. I'm very impressed with all the arguments they have put forward. But one thing was missing, that is, they never talked about a proper solution and the role of the government, because I think they have a very big role to play. Decentralization is the key here, because with the synchronization of development in both rural and urban area, we can achieve a peaceful harmonization of success. So that point was missing. Apart from that, it was a very beautiful speech by both the teams. I really enjoyed it, and I ask you or recommend that you carry forward this performance in your future endeavors and the further more debates that you do in the future. One thing is, like, long time back I heard a saying, a story where a king wanted to cover the whole world with leather so that he doesn't have to walk on sand or sand doesn't get onto his feet. Rather, the solution was to wrap his feet with the sand, right? So rather than putting all the people into the cities, we should develop the city. We should develop the rural areas, isn't it? And it's like a vicious cycle as long as we don't do anything about it. For example, that you point out, when labor gets cheap, the person who are working there, they don't get enough wages. They buy the same thing that they would have bought in the rural areas for a much higher price. The reason they are coming here is because of some extra money that they can save and send to their family. Rather, they're spending more money for the things they could have got there. Though there are some other issues, for example, education and medicine and other stuff. All I can say is, in the end, good job and good luck.
I request our Honorable Vice Principal of the Junior Section, Taslima Samad Mees, to declare this result, and she also to give her opinion.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm really pleased to see you that how good you are in this debate. You are giving your positive and negative points very nicely, but as I said, some of the points are missing. Still, we have to give the solution, not only the problem. And also the decentralization is going to be happened. It's the most needed thing in this time. So the migration, we can't stop that, but at the same time, we need to have a good balance about the rural situation and the urban places. So girls, you have done really good. All the arguments are really nice. I really enjoyed it. It's a very close contest. Both of the team has done tremendously well. So the result is almost here. It's a very close contest in between two marks, I think. One of the team got 275, the other team got 279. So 4 marks difference. Okay. And also we got the best speaker here. Alright. So the winner team is Electron. And the opposition team 279. And the best speaker is Fatima Binte Azal. The first speaker from the